Hi everybody, happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a great day. We are going to spend some time this week for science reviewing weather. Now we learned about weather way back in the fall and spent a long time on lots of different pieces of weather, and we're going to do a quick review of the things we learned and do a couple of activities. So you need to have pulled up your weather review slides while you're watching the video. And there are a couple of things in there that are actually links to other videos. So you'll pause this video, go watch those, and we're going to end with a really cool video about a very interesting place in the world that has really interesting weather. So if you'll start on the slide right after day one, we are going to start by thinking about what weather is, what are some ways we gather data on weather, and the difference between weather and climate. Okay, that's a really important difference, and that's what your activity today is going to be on. So if you would like to pause this video and click on the link, it will take you to a Study Jams weather and climate video. So go watch that and then come back to this video. Okay, so now if you click into the slide that says mini lesson continued, and it has some different pictures on there, weather is the day-to-day temperature and precipitation activity. Okay, so right now at your house, outside your window, what you see is the weather. Is it rainy? Is it cold? Is it hot? Is it sunny? Those things are weather. Now, weather can change really quickly, and it can be difficult to predict because it can change so quickly. So another way of saying what weather is, it's the condition of the atmosphere at a given place and time. So right now in Stone Mountain, Georgia, what is the weather? Right now in New York City, what is the weather? Or in Texas, or anywhere in the world, they have weather. And there's some different pictures here. We see a rainy day, we see a sunny day, we see a hot day, we see a cold day, different types of weather. All right, if you click to the next slide, we learned that weather can be observed, measured, and described. Okay, we can observe weather in different ways. We can measure things about weather in different ways, and we can describe it in different ways. So if you remember these pictures, these are some weather tools that meteorologists or even you at your house might have some of these. I have a couple of these at my house. We use them to learn about weather. We get information or data on weather from these tools. So you have a you have a thermometer, which is used to measure temperature. You have a rain gauge, which can be used to measure precipitation or rain. You have a wind vane, and this is used to measure the direction of a wind. The barometer is next, and that is used to measure air pressure. And then the last one is the anemometer, and that one is used to measure wind. Okay? So on the next slide, we have the actual things that make up weather. Okay, so these are the things that determine what the weather is right now wherever you are. The condition of the air, so the air pressure, the temperature, the cloud cover, the wind speed, and whether or not there's any rainfall or any other kind of precipitation. Snow, sleet, or hail, probably not going to have any of those right now. Okay, on the next slide, how is weather different from climate? Now, if you remember back, climate is the average state of an atmosphere in an area over many years, okay? This is different from weather because remember, weather is predicted and can change quickly. Climate is the way it normally is in a certain area, okay? Now, weather can still change, but you expect a certain place to have a certain climate. So, for example, think about the southwestern United States, which we learned about last year with Native Americans and even explorers. And what do we think of when we think of the deserts in the Southwest? Click to the next slide, and you'll see some pictures. Maybe these are the things that came to mind when you started thinking about the deserts. Arizona, out in Nevada, in that part of the country. And we typically think of those areas as being very hot and very dry. That's the climate of those areas, because many years of weather data tell us that those areas are usually hot and dry. Now, the weather can change in those areas. It can be cool at night in the desert. It can rain in the desert. But typically, it is hot and dry. That is the climate. That does not change over time. Okay, on the next one, think about when we think about Alaska. Again, we learned about them last year when we talked about explorers and Native Americans more probably for Alaska. But when we think of Alaska, we probably think of things like what we see in these pictures. Freezing cold, lots of snow, lots of ice, beautiful landscapes, but very, very cold. That's the climate, okay? They can have warm days in Alaska. But typically, because of over many years of data, it shows us that that area has a climate that is very cold. Okay, so this is a really interesting thing that I did not know about. I've been reading about it since I found out about this. But there's a place in Venezuela, which is in South America, that is home to a bizarre, raging storm that almost never stops for nearly 300 days a year. Now, if you remember how many days are in a year, 365, that's almost every day of the year. The lightning is regularly illuminated for 9 hours with thousands of flashes of naturally produced electricity. Here, in one tiny swampy corner of Venezuela, this storm beast makes its lair and produces the most breathtaking spectacle of a natural light show on Earth. Venezuela's Lake Maracaibo earned a place in the Guinness Book of World Records for the highest concentration of lightning, with 250 lightning flashes per square kilometer each year. That's crazy. It's almost lightning every day and for a lot of the day. So there's a link there you can click on so you can see the Catatumbo storm and what it looks like. It's really awesome. Okay, so pause this video, watch that, and come back and I'm going to explain to you what your activity is for today. Okay, pretty incredible, right? Have you ever seen that much lightning and think it does that almost every day? Would you like to go there? I don't know if I would. But there is a website that's linked on the next slide that you can click on and it gives you more information about this area. And it's got some weather charts and just really interesting information. Actually, is for people who want to plan a trip there. So you can click on that and explore that a little bit. And I want you to think about what is the weather in this place and what is the climate. Think about the differences. Weather is what's happening right now, and it can change between this morning and this afternoon or between today and tomorrow. Climate is what that area typically is like. So see if you can think about which is weather and which is climate for this area in Venezuela. Okay, for your activity today, you're going to have, I believe there are 12 different statements, okay? And some of them describe weather, some of them describe climate. All right, so you have a chart that you can either print out and actually cut and paste, or if you want to cut and paste on your Google document, I can even put that on your Google document for you. If you want the table on there, just let me know, or let your teacher know, and they can paste that on for you. But you're going to decide, are the statements describing weather or are they describing climate? And you're going to actually put the sentence in the right box on your table. It's going to have 2 boxes. Now, on the document, you're going to have to scroll down to page 2. The table is on page 1, and the statements are on page 2. So just scroll down if you don't see them. And you should be able to see that. Get that all cut and paste and turned into your teacher. Let us know if you have any questions so that we can help you. Later in the week, we're going to learn or review more weather. We're going to talk a little bit about air pressure and warm fronts and cold fronts and clouds. And we're going to do an activity on clouds. All right. So have a great day. Hope you've had fun with science. Let us know if you need any help and we will see you soon. Bye guys.